And maybe one day you'll remember this conversation and you'll think back that maybe conservatives have been right all along. Thank you.
Hi there, ladies and gentlemen. Now, for those of you who are already subscribers to my channel, you know that whenever a famous person passes away, it's my sworn duty to make a video about them to celebrate their life. But today I find myself in an unusual situation where the person I'm going to be talking about, I knew the name and then I had to jog my memory last night as to where I saw Charlie Kirk. A lot of you know who this gentleman is. 31, married to an ex-beauty contestant, 2 children, a boy and a girl. And sadly, yesterday, and I was actually watching Gary from Roddick's live stream when the news broke on his live stream, which was really kind of just such a weird turn of events, like going from his reaction to looking at other people's reactions. It was quite incredible. And I remembered where I'd seen Charlie Kirk before. I knew the name sounded familiar. He was this guy that went to college campuses and just had debates with people, students, one-on-one. And if he didn't agree with you, you know, he wouldn't make you feel shit about it, but he would definitely come along with bullet points in his head, ready just to have a debate. And I think it's fantastic. Of course, the way the mainstream media paints him, right-wing activist, all that nonsense, and it goes a lot more deeper than that, folks. Now listen, I'm a dumb British guy who is moderately intelligent. I can't say I'm as in, you know, I'm on the levels of people who have had degrees and wear nice suits for their podcasts and sit down and wax lyrical about everything. I'm not that guy, but I think I'm pretty good at judging situations. I might get it wrong sometimes, but you know what? I got to say 2025 might be the worst year that I can remember in my lifetime. I think in any lifetime, it's just insane. I mean, I was thinking about making a video a couple of days ago regarding the Ukrainian woman, Irina Zarutska, who was sadly terminated on a train by a deranged madman who should have been in jail a long time ago, never to be released. But that's the way it works when you have DEI and ESG behind the scenes in government, when government run departments, and they allow this stuff to happen because, hey, the skin fits, right? That's what you get in return. That is the price. The woman who passed away in that train, Irina Zarutska, her blood is on your hands. The people that released that madman back into society when he was never fit to be in the public in the first place, right? You had him. Then you had Rachel Morin, a mum of 5 who was sadly murdered this year by an illegal in the States. And yeah, people just don't remember people like her. And then there was another lady as well, I think, that suffered a similar circumstance. It's just so ridiculous. It just astounds me. And, you know, as somebody who lives in the UK and, we got this march coming up on Saturday, which I think is going to be very interesting because the government that we have now, oh my God, is it any wonder why Ed Sheeran took his family and moved to the USA? I think he's gone to Nashville, which is great. And I hope he doesn't have the foresight to return ever again to England. England is not the country it used to be. I would say back in the 80s and the 70s, it used to be something of a good country. But what you do these days is that you work to pay bills. That's it. You work to live. You don't work to have a bit of fun and do things like most Americans seem to know how to do very well. And look, I'm going off a tangent here, guys. I'm sorry about this, but I think the whole point about what I was trying to get around to is that I was going to make a video last night about Charlie Kirk, and I thought it might be a knee-jerk reaction for me to do that because I don't know enough about the guy. And but you know, for the point in this video today, folks, and I'm going to obviously show you some clips and everything else with this, but yeah, it's just a different ball game for me. It's like the outpouring of grief from many people, just really shocked. When I heard he was shot in Utah, I like other people. Like the moment I actually heard that news, I just thought, okay, I hope it's just a graze. I hope it's not as bad as it is. And the initial reports were that he was stabilized, and that's all I can say at the moment. Then I watched Tim Pool, who unfortunately had to break the news, because I saw his live stream last night. I really couldn't watch the rest of it because he was tearing up a little bit, and I was getting a bit upset. And it was just like one of these strange things that happened. And I might have to make some edits here, folks. I don't know if I'm going to carry on with this. I'm a strong enough guy to do that. The death of Charlie Kirk reminds me of that scene from Jesus of Nazareth with Robert Powell, where he says to his enemy, "If you strike me down, I will become more powerful than you'll ever imagine." Obviously, that has overtones with Obi-Wan Kenobi in Star Wars when he's about to meet his ending with Darth Vader. And the reason why I say that, because although Charlie's gone, like, his teachings and everything else are there for us to learn from. His movement will carry on. So if you think you've gotten rid of one person, many more will rise. I mean, Charlie Kirk touched the lives of 20 million plus campus students all over America. That is more pull than most YouTubers out there can even possibly imagine. Like I said, I'm the dumb British guy who's going to make a video about somebody he never knew. I wish I had met Charlie Kirk. Again, the reason why I've always said to my mum, I've been saying this to my mum for the last few days now, actually, like, when you had the choice to go to the USA or England, why did you come to England? I don't get it. Like, we have the worst food and some of the worst things ever. Like, America has it all. America, I feel I was destined to be. I should have been a long, long time ago, but sadly, just never happened for me. And maybe if you believe in life after death, I might be reborn as a surfer dude in Hawaii or California. I think that would be wonderful if that actually happened. But anyway, folks, here we are on the BBC. Again, do I trust the BBC? Of course I don't. Neither ITV or Channel 4, none of those outlets, because they're all far-leaning left nonsensical idiots. But the manhunt for Charlie Kirk killer continues as President Trump says it's a dark moment for America. I would probably say, I mean, look, when I heard how Charlie Kirk died from a sniper from a rooftop far, I think it was 200 yards. Obviously, Donald Trump last July in 2024 had a similar thing almost happen to him as well. And luckily he survived that. But no, I had it's like reverberations of JFK. I know it's not the same thing, but that's the kind of parallel I think of. It's just really spooky. And Martin Luther King, the way he was shot. I suspect the person who did this is military trained to make that shot and to be so precise. Like, and again, a lot of questions are going to come out of this. Like, why wasn't there security? Why didn't law enforcement do a recce of the area to see if there's any risk points? And obviously in this case there was, but it was just not paid attention to. So again, the BBC has pretty much covered everything that I've briefly explained to you here. Kirk, who founded conservative group Turning Point USA, age 18, was close to the president and his family, because Donald Trump put out a really fantastic tweet calling Charlie like great, almost legendary, which I think is great. Now, if you want a flavor of who Charlie Kirk was, this is the man. This is his own YouTube channel. Now, last night when I checked this, it was at 3.8 million subscribers. It's now gone up to 4.3 million, which is incredible. I think that's fantastic. I don't know why my notifications weren't turned on there, but look, college queer is all talk, no facts. So I'm not going to play this all, obviously. It's a pretty long clip, but this is what I was talking about regarding how Charlie comes across to the people that want to be debated with him.
To actually debate the topics and not just fight, so.
I totally agree. Can I ask a dumb question?
Yeah.
When I grew up, calling someone queer was like a slur. Can you tell me what that means? I mean that sincerely. And how is it different than just saying you're lesbian or bisexual or gay?
So it can be different for everyone, because gender, sexuality, it's a spectrum just like anything else. And for me personally, I like everyone.
No, but what does queer mean, though?
Queer, it's just a label.
What does the label mean?
It's different for everyone.
Okay. Yeah. No, I know, but that doesn't...
I hear people going, "Oh my God."
No, I just want to...
Just get to the point.
I'm not trying to put you as a trap, though. I mean this, because when I grew up, if I called somebody queer, I would get in trouble. Just give me, like, a working definition.
Yeah, so queer is just something that you identify as with your sexuality. It can be related to gender, too.
Right, but how do you know once you achieve queer? Like, what is the... Like, can you give me saying that anybody can be it doesn't tell me what that thing is. That makes sense, though? Like, it'd be like saying you become an adult when you feel like you're an adult. I mean, you have to say that there is an objective...
I'm glad that everyone's having so much fun.
Well, they're
with
laughing
this.
because I'm trying to glean like what it means.
Yeah.
Because when someone says queer, that doesn't tell me anything.
Yeah, so that's what a debate is for.
Debate back.
Thank you. So, it's literally just
Oh, hang on.
an identity.
Right. Okay. But right. But like, what is that identity? For example, if I were to say I'm a conservative, let me give an example.
Yeah.
A conservative is someone who believes in small government, strong borders, American exceptionalism, the Constitution. How would you then give a definition of queer that someone looking at could say, oh, that is queer? Like, connect the dots.
So, I'm gay, right?
Okay, no, that's good. So,
Yeah.
so what's the difference then, gay and queer?
The whole point of it is that...
Oh my God. This is the future generation that's meant to be running the USA. Are you really kidding me? I mean, I hope she realizes that what she has as a take right now is she's probably going to actually have that take as she gets older in life. But again, it's like, oh God. Oh, jeez. This is, I mean, you know what? Charlie's gone, but he's left us such a legacy to celebrate. I think, just stuff like this, it's going to reaffirm what people actually think. And just watching Donald Trump's speech here quickly regarding his tribute to Charlie Kirk.
Fellow Americans, I am filled with grief and anger at the heinous assassination of Charlie Kirk on a college campus in Utah. Charlie inspired millions, and tonight all who knew him and loved him are united in shock and horror. Charlie was a patriot who devoted his life to the cause of open debate and the country that he loved so much, the United States of America. He fought for liberty, democracy, justice, and the American people. He's a martyr for truth and freedom, and there's never been anyone who was so respected by youth. Charlie was also a man of deep, deep faith, and we take comfort in the knowledge that he is now at peace with God in heaven. Our prayers are with his wife, Erica, the two young, beloved children, and his entire family, who he loved more than anything in the world. We ask God to watch over them in this terrible hour of heartache and pain. This is a dark moment for America. Charlie Kirk traveled the nation, joyfully engaging with everyone interested in good faith debate, to share his love of country and to spread the simple words of common sense. On campuses nationwide, he championed his ideas with courage, logic, humor, and grace. It's a long past time for all Americans and the media to confront the fact that violence and murder are the tragic consequence of demonizing those with whom you disagree day after day, year after year, in the most hateful and despicable way possible. For years, those on the radical left have compared wonderful Americans like Charlie to Nazis and the world's worst mass murderers and criminals. This kind of rhetoric is directly responsible for the terrorism that we're seeing in our country today, and it must stop right now. My administration will find each and every one of those who contributed to this atrocity and to other political violence, including the organizations that fund it and support it, as well as those who go after our judges law enforcement officials, and everyone else who brings order to our country. From the attack on my life in Butler, Pennsylvania last year, which killed a husband and father, to the attacks on ICE agents, to the vicious murder of a healthcare executive in the streets of New York, to the shooting of House Majority Leader Steve Scalise and 3 others, radical left political violence has hurt too many innocent people and taken too many lives.
And here's a post that Charlie Kirk made on July the 29th. Law enforcement, here's multiple pictures of the not white suspect. CNN, they know he is a male, possibly white. He's wearing sunglasses. Gee, it's almost like they have an agenda. There's your not so white suspect, Shane D. Timura. That was the guy that went to New York and carried out some shootings in an office block for whatever reason, because he was deranged. And I like that about Charlie. He was able to call that stuff out. And I just thought he was just a brilliant individual for doing that. And by the way, folks, I'm getting a out of print Blu-ray for Oliver Stone's Talk Radio with Eric Bagassian. If you've never seen that film, you should watch it, because it's about the power of debate and how you can ignite an extremist on the other side. That's all I'm going to say. It's a fantastic movie. And if you've not seen it, try and get hold of it, watch it online, buy the DVD or get the Blu-ray like I'm expecting very soon. Can't wait to watch it. I might even do a review about it here on this channel if you guys want to see that. It's interesting what President Trump says, because this won't stop. This is like we're on the brink of a civil war. I mean, we've got our own version in the UK, which granted isn't on the grand scale of the USA, but no, I think civil arrest is just going to get worse. It's not going to get better. That's what I feel. I've always felt that. And I want to show you a couple of other things quickly, folks, because, again, if you want to see how sick and twisted the left actually are. So a second suspect of Charlie Kirk's political assassination has been identified by Twitter users, and yes, it's a trans person, or in this case, it's a dude. And what this guy's holding up here is, and I'll read the message: Charlie Kirk is coming to my college tomorrow. I really hope someone evaporates him, literally. Let's just say something big will happen tomorrow. And that was, when was this actually posted? Well, this guy posted it 11 hours ago, but I think the post actually was the day before on the 9th of September, I believe. I might have that wrong. So, and again, look, now this is interesting. So again, watch this.
Just saying. He just ran from over, where's my finger?
Let's play that back again, sorry.
Yeah. You think
So just to give you a bit of perspective here, guys, they suspect whoever this is the actual shooter. But again, it's one of those things where, oh, look, someone's on the roof. What are they doing there? And there's no law enforcement around? Or did they call law enforcement? Did you just film this for clicks? It's so bizarre.
You would think that. So there's somebody on the roof at the place? You would think that.
Yeah. You think he'd already be in place?
You would think that. So there's somebody on the roof right there? Just saying. He just ran from over, where's my finger? Whoa. From over there, ran in, and now he's right there. Just saying. Getting right up.
Yeah. You think he'd already be in place?
You would.
I thought that thing there was the person, but maybe it's not. So apparently somebody was observed being on the roof, but there might be some more footage later on. Yeah. That could be like the leftover. I don't know if that's a gun or so. I'm not sure what that is, to be honest. It's so far away, I can't really tell what that is. But of course, you got the usual retards on TikTok. I fucking hate TikTok. I'm just going to show you this example here of this disgusting human being. What she says.
By the sword, die by the sword. He did say that gun deaths were an acceptable side effect of gun rights. Die by the sword. He did say that gun deaths were an acceptable side effect of gun rights.
Yeah, so what do we say about her? Big forehead, zero intelligence. So, yeah, dumb motherfucker. But you know what? People just do this. TikTok, TikTok is Chinese, by the way. Yeah, let's remember that. So, again, we've We have TikTok that allows people to do all sorts of things. They don't get policed, and they say stuff like this, and it's just utterly ridiculous. I've got to close this video by saying this, guys, and yeah, this is holy shit, man. This is such a strange morning for me, actually. I had to explain to my mum that I'm going to shoot a video that I've never really made before. And, you know, a few of my subscribers have said, oh, you should try and pivot to something that you like to talk about. And I don't know if this will be that pivot. It probably won't be. But I felt passionate enough to talk about it, sit in front of a camera. And yeah, I mean, I'm just going to come out and say it. Although I was born to parents who liked the left, so to speak, it was a bit contradictory. And no disrespect to my parents, but they didn't really understand politics that much. But I always grew up in a conservative household. Even though my parents liked the Labour Party, I grew up with conservative values and leanings and everything else. So I am that way inclined. And I'm glad I am, because there are so many fucking weirdos out in society who should all be grouped together, sent to an island, and around this island are sharks waiting to be fed. I think that's the perfect way to deal with the morons in society. I honestly do. It's great, and I love sharks, so it'd be great to see that happen. Of course, in my free speak and radical way of thinking, that's never going to happen, right? But I'm sure countries like Australia and probably America might be inclined to think the same way that I do. And honestly, it's I like to stay at home these days. I have very few friends. I used to have a lot more, but I like to think that on YouTube now, I've got a nicer circle of friends who invite me onto live streams. We have occasional talks offline and in messages via X. So I really appreciate those guys. They know who they are. And I truly value them reaching out to me and asking for a collaboration. And I love being on YouTube. And yeah, I'm not making a lot of money a month on YouTube. And that's what this video isn't about. It's more to do with the fact that I needed to make a video today regarding Charlie Kirk's sad demise at 31. Is so tragic. I feel for his family and his relations and the good work that he's done. And I think like the biggest takeaway that I have about this is that the left, right, we have to bring the political aspect into this, are always going to hate the values that we stand for. Am I a saint? Of course I'm not. Nobody is. But the fact, and like what I will say to you is, guys and girls, is that don't lower yourselves to their standard. You know, violence begets violence. Don't do that. I think words are very strong. Stick to your beliefs. Stick to the truth. What you want to advocate. What's good for you. If you're not harming anybody, but you're encouraging and inspiring people, I think that's what you should do. Stick with it. Don't worry about what the other side thinks, because they feel threatened by that. They want to infect the world with their weirdo, evil, cultish ideologies. And you know what I'm talking about when I refer to that. And we're just going to leave it at that, folks. But I think things are going to get worse before they actually get better. So, R.I.P. Charlie Kirk. I'm going to enjoy watching your back catalogue of videos, sir. You are certainly a great speaker, better than what I can do. And on that one, ladies and gentlemen, if you found any value in this video today and you feel like you want to give me a subscribe or a like, make sure you do so at the end of this video, and I will catching me for the return of my next episode.
The media is so focused right now on the battle between conservative and liberal.
But isn't that a core part of the battle, that the liberal vice president has allowed 320,000 kids to go missing?
So how has she allowed that exactly?
That's a good question. She's in charge of the border. She has stopped DNA testing at the border. So if a kid comes to the border, 12 years old, and someone says, I'm their father, there's no DNA rapid testing that takes 90 seconds to make sure that's actually the father. Most times it's a pimp that is selling the girl into sex slavery in the interior of the United States. Kamala Harris specifically got rid of that policy.
So it was in place before?
Yes, when Donald Trump was president, it required DNA testing and families would remain together, and they were not granted asylum into the interior of the country, and we had remain in Mexico, the lowest border crossings in American history. Under Kamala Harris, we have 10 million people coming illegally into America.
Okay. Next person.
All right, I want you to think about these things, and maybe one day you'll remember this conversation, and you'll think back that maybe conservatives have been right all along. Thank you.